I'm Miranda Rake.
And I'm Sarah Wheeler, and this is The Mother of It All, where we take on motherhood through the lens of culture and culture through the lens of motherhood. Miranda Rake, happy August.
Thank you. Happy August.
Thank you.
So I know your school starts before mine does.
The 11th.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's really soon.
And lest you forget, I know you have not, this thus begins my tenure as PTA president.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So are you already doing stuff?
I already am. I'm going to do you say woman now?
I don't know.
A table? I'm going to man a table. That's like
a
gender.
Human a
I'm
table?
going to human a table at the back to school event on Wednesday.
I'm sorry, but I think it might just be you could say table.
Oh, yeah. You could just cut the whole thing out.
You know how they're tabling
right.
and tabling?
It's like you don't have to say history or herstory. You can just say past stuff that white people made up.
In the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. the conqueror's view of things that before now. And then you don't have to deal with is the gender appropriate? Workarounds. Yeah, it's August. The school begins. My birthday is in August and my husband's. So it's party month.
Oh man, yeah.
It's also work month for me. I got a lot of work and then no work for the rest of the year. So I'm like, could we just have a little more balance in this freelance life?
Oh God. I feel that. Freelance has been it's weird, right? Because I don't feel like I value my time. It's a tricky balance. I don't value my time as if I had a full-time job. I don't protect my working hours. Yeah. And some of that, especially in the summer, is purely financial. It's well, if I don't know where that money is coming from, I can't justify even
having childcare or
yeah. So
yeah.
It took us we have this cobbled together childcare that's teenage babysitters who are awesome, by the way. So cool. $15 an hour, $16 an hour.
Oh, someone was just asking me this. They were like, you're an educational psychologist. What do you pay a teenager in San Francisco? And I was like, I would pay them $15, maybe $20. And they were like, this teenager quoted us $30.
No.
That's what I'm hearing. I think my teenage nieces make $25 or $30 an hour. And I'm like, why wouldn't you just get an adult?
Okay, so right, good for them. But also I would say here, so we have an 11-year-old who comes. I can't leave the house.
A teenager. That's
I don't leave the house.
You pay them in Cracker Jacks.
She's $15 an hour. I give her $15.
Okay.
We have a 16-year-old who comes who is, I love her so much. I would pay her $30 an hour. Please, don't.
I hope she's not listening.
Yeah, but
break the bank.
Because she's just, so she's the oldest of three. She's
those older sisters.
She's just so chill. She comes here from rowing. She gets up at 5 and rows on the river.
She's got those strong arms to to wrestle your children with.
Exactly.
To securely hold them when they freak out. I love that.
Yes. And she is kind of sporty, but she wears makeup, and one of her hobbies is Formula One. So she can really hang with Griffin. And she's really, really, really low key. And then she has this kind of funny sense of humor. She's perfect. I'm please never leave.
Yeah. What's her name?
I shouldn't say her name.
Oh, okay. Let's call her Emma. I think I just
sure.
wanted to say, I think you should pay Emma. I think you should pay Emma more. But
I should.
You got to prove yourself,
Yeah,
teenager.
And the 11-year-old told me that her Red Cross babysitting book told her what to charge. So it's a range of $15 to $20 an hour.
Whoa, this is up to date. I was picturing a dusty book that, that was from when her mom was a Girl Scout and you weren't allowed to be in the Girl Scouts if you were brunette or whatever.
Well, because she's 11, she doesn't have a phone. So I found this out by texting with her mom, and I was like, what should I pay? What would I usually check with the mom too, with teenagers often, or young teens. And then they just went with the Red Cross book. And the mom was like, it says 15 to 20. That seems crazy to me. And I said, okay, well, I pay this other girl about $16.50 an hour. How does that sound? And then
Why 1650? Do you have like a lot of
So
quarters you're trying to get rid of? Is
it
that
happened by
minimum
accident.
wage?
It happened by accident. She came for 3 hours. I was like, what do you want for this
I can't
time?
even multiply 3 times 1650 right now. You're blowing my
It's like,
mind.
it's
I think
actually
you're
like
creating more work for yourself.
1665. Well, so I just gave her $50, right? She came for 3 hours. She did great. I
It's
gave
a
her $50.
backwards hourly rate.
And
You
then
like
later I was like, oh
divided.
crap, now she's coming for 5 hours. What should I pay her? And then I figured, yeah.
Yeah, I like to our favorite babysitter, counselor Nick, is like a 20, I don't know, 8-year-old guy, and he works at their
Hmm.
after school, and now he has like a day job, but he still babysits, and he comes with a duffel bag with his PlayStation in it so they can play Minecraft, and
Oh,
he's
dang.
so lovely, and the kids love him so much. And yeah, but it's like I had to talk him up. Like he
Mm.
told
Oh,
me
yeah.
15 and I was like, you need some self-respect, counselor Nick. And I was
Well,
like, I'm
yeah.
going to pay you $20. No, you know what I said? I was like, I'll give you $20 and I want you to, next time, will you please wash the dishes? And he was like, got it. And he washes
Mm.
them by hand. It's so cute. Like, I'm like, you can
Mm.
use the dishwasher, but maybe he really wants to earn it. But
Maybe he likes it.
but there's the thing of like when I'm Venmoing him, sometimes I put on a little extra, like I round up or whatever.
Mm.
And then you are kind of like,
Slippery
if I
slope.
keep doing that, right. But I
Yeah.
mean, he deserves all of it. We had a really great experience with, you were talking about like older daughters or older sisters. There's
Yeah.
a girl who's just going into middle school, but who was at my kid's elementary school, who's the oldest of 4.
Mm.
And she's just like
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And she's like my daughter's mentor essentially.
Hmm.
And she came over to do like a kind of, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say mothers. This is like manning the table, a parent's helper,
Yeah.
a person who helps families. Um, and I asked her mom what I should pay her. And I was like, can I give her like $20? And she was like, no, that's too much. Like just
Yeah.
for the whole time. And she was like, no, do not, like, because once you start.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's amazing.
I find that a lot with the
It takes
mothers.
a village
There's
of exploited child labor
Well,
to
I mean, here's the thing,
raise
right?
another
Like
child.
the 11-year-old is spending this money on like Starbucks or whatever. She doesn't have rent. Like you're a guy who's 28, presumably he has to like pay rent and buy groceries
Totally.
and
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I
But
want
the
to
like teens are like, I mean,
invest in
the
his
girl,
401k or whatever.
our like fantastic girl has like, who's 16, like she went to Cambridge for 3 weeks and like traveled around Europe. She's having a great time. And when
Mhm.
I asked her what she wanted me to pay, she was like, I don't care. And I think she meant it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something that's like sustainable for me
Right.
and like
Right.
kind to you, but I'm going to walk this line and like knowing that you don't really need it, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not like paying your bills with it. You would otherwise just be sitting around your house watching TV.
Right. Well, I mean, childcare is one of those things that it's like all childcare providers are underpaid and parents pay too much. It's
Right.
like it is both true and like, but you can't improve that relationship without one of those parties suffering more, or, and here's an idea, outside intervention and support to make the system work better, But like,
Yeah.
it's shitty how it pits us against each other,
Yeah.
being like, oh, this fucking preschool charges $20,000 a year, which is so much money, but like nobody's like making bank at that preschool and they're not like embezzling. That's what it costs.
Yeah. No,
and
it
they're
is.
paying, their childcare providers $15 an hour, or, even if they pay them $30 an hour, it should be more. And so it's,
No, it doesn't make sense. It's
yeah.
like, anyway, but I think the teen solution is a good one, right? Because they're not desperate for the cash. They're not trying to like pay bills.
Right.
And
Right.
then
And there is a childcare provider shortage. It's not like you're taking money out of the mouths of like, people who need to support their families and want to do childcare. Or maybe you are. I don't know.
Well, and I figure
Yeah.
you're like subsidizing their family a little bit. Like I was thinking about, it's nice for me when Griffin has like money to spend of his own and he
Mhm.
wants something
How does he come across that?
Oh, he gives his grandparents like massages. He that's his like number one hustle.
Is he good?
He's okay.
Did I ever
Yeah.
tell you about Max's massage chair?
No.
He like learned what a massage chair is, and
Oh.
then he he'll like do it for you.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
have to, and he's like, and he'll go through the numbers and he'll just like keep going until you stop. He'll be like 10 and he'll make up like a karate chop and he'll be like 11 and he'll like rub behind your ears.
Oh,
And
God.
then he'll be like, which one do you want? And you're like, well, I don't remember what any of them were, but let's go with 5. And then it's great.
It's like the meeting. Does he charge?
No, that's
well,
he requests. Okay, maybe this is a good transition into like, you know, the values we want our children to have. And you wrote this piece about toy guns that I want to ask you about.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of asks for money. It's probably not every interaction, but more than I would like. Like he'll be like, if I'm like, you just did such a good job like hosting, you know, that party we had today. And like, you know, our guests felt so great that you were like making them coffee. That's his other trick. He makes coffee, like lattes and stuff.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, and you ask people if they needed water and like that makes people feel so welcome. And like, you know, please don't be an incel. And he's like
every conversation.
Yeah. And he'll be like, he'll smile and be like, will you pay me? Are you going to pay me for that? And I never say yes. I'm never like, yes, in retrospect, I will. And he gets, and I'm like, you have an allowance. You're just paid to exist. But anyway, but can we talk about the gun piece?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wrote this piece on Substack.
Just a little vent.
About kind of how you are fed up with toy guns. And I think you let yourself, it was a rare moment where like, you know, you're so nuanced and you're good at like reporting all the sides.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciated seeing this. I won't call it a tirade, but like seeing this, don't call it a comeback or a tirade, seeing this post from you where you're like, you know what, fuck this. Like, I just hate this thing. And I appreciated that. You know, I feel like, yes, we spend so much time trying to be like fair. And you were just like, this sucks. I don't want toy guns around.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. And so I appreciated that candor. There was an interesting comment section.
Yeah, I deleted.
We could get into.
I don't know if, depending on when you look.
No, I didn't read any bad ones. You made a reference to that maybe like the deep state. Wait, are we the deep state or are they the deep? Is the deep state like Hillary Clinton?
Depends who you ask.
Is that what they're afraid of? Or is that the Trumpers? We're the deep state.
I think they think we're the deep state. Okay.
So they're not the deep state, whatever they are. The MAGAs
the incels, right? I mean,
found you.
Yeah. I you know, the manosphere or whatever. I think I was trying to figure out how they found me, and it was like I tagged Ruth Whitman in it because I was thinking about Boy Mom, obviously, when I wrote it. And
shout out.
I think she restacked it, and then I think she has a bunch of men online who harass harassed her. So I think that they then came to harass me.
Your door.
She did, which is not. I mostly feel bad because I feel like I just got a small taste of probably what her whole life is, and
she's had to deal with a lot of grossness.
Wow, geez, I mean. It was like,
Ruth, we thank you for your service.
Yes. There was one that I deleted, a comment that was like, good job raising a little Portland pacifist or something. And I was like,
thank you.
I told David about that. Yeah, I was like, thanks. Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Oh my God. Like, I appreciate that.
It was the sheer volume. You know, I woke up one day and it was just the sheer volume of
That's never happened to me.
Good. That's good.
I don't think I've ever written anything that enough people have read to...
You know, it was so funny. And like one person was like, 7 is when my kids get real guns, you know? And I was like,
that's not true.
All right. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. I found some Reddits that were along those lines, but yeah, it was, you know, I hit a wall, like I said, where he had borrowed or done like these exchanges with friends to get Nerf guns. Cause it was a toy that it was where we had drawn a line.
Right.
And
so you say no Nerf guns. And just for context, I know everybody listening this far is probably, you know, knows us personally. But okay, Griffin is 7 now?
Yeah, 7 and a half.
So Griffin is 7. He's your oldest. And no Nerf guns.
No Nerf guns and...
No anything. What about like a little Lego gun? Is none of that?
There are Lego guns. Yeah. Like his little Stormtrooper Lego guys.
But nothing you could use to shoot someone with active bullets.
Despite this is what I kind of write about in the piece is like slowly we have broken down because
Yeah.
he just uses everything as a gun. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what it
Yes.
is, right? It's
Yeah.
like, but David actually is still, I would say almost he was not breaking down the way that I was, because I was just like, oh God, I don't care anymore. I can't fight this battle. And so he swapped with a friend to get a Nerf gun, and like secretly. And then I was like, okay, well, you did that. I'm not gonna, I guess, undo that. But it was a crappy Nerf gun. And I was like, okay, good. You learned your lesson. And then,
Yeah, my son like wins a lot of like what's the what's the like knockoff Nerf Smurf or something. Like he wins a lot of Smurf guns at like arcades, and then they just like immediately break.
Yeah. Yeah, I had hoped it would go like that, but then he managed to swap with another friend for a larger Nerf gun.
Whoa.
And then David was like, are we just
This is
allowing
escalating.
this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I'm tired, you know? And then the morning of Nellie's birthday, he was being so sweet. Griffey was being so sweet with her. And then he came downstairs and like pointed this massive machine gun looking thing at me. And I was like, this feels icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's traumatic to me because I have a lot of fears about gun culture in our society. So do I have to live with my kid pointing a giant Nerf gun in my face? Like,
I think you nailed that really well, something that I come back to. And I responded in your comments.
Yeah, I saw.
You didn't
Thank
need
you.
my fluffing up your comments.
But I appreciated
They
it.
were already hot and fluffy. I'm mixing metaphors. I am so tired. But there were some interesting comments that you didn't delete from, you know, the
I
men
left
who
the,
are
like, reasonable ones.
Yeah, the men who are willing to converse, who were like, thank you for sharing this. It's nice to hear a parent's perspective. Like, you know, I also just want to point out that, like, there is like a normal amount of need for many boys to kind of like be physical. And there is an obsession sometimes with like war. And I was that way and I am not a violent adult, or my son was that way. And now he's like, you know, whatever, he works for the UN. You know, like there were like, and, you know, and let's not kind of, no one used this word, but it's one I enjoy. Let's not like pathologize that.
Yeah.
But what you did just there, I think, is a fair thing, which is you're saying, whatever I believe about what this means for my child and the implications it will have for him, I am clear that as a parent, I just don't feel good about this. And like, I think we need to be careful not to assume that our child has associations with things that we don't, right?
Yeah.
Like for your child, what he has been exposed to, he is not picking up that machine gun and imagining he's a school shooter, right? Like he is not imagining he's you know, maybe not even, he's not imagining he's in a war the way that we think of war. And so we don't want to pathologize that that's what he's doing. He's playing with a fun toy that a lot of, you know, forces have told him he should play with, that shoots things out and hits things. And that's pretty fun, right?
And that a lot of his friends
But we don't like it, right?
Yes.
And so you don't go like, you know, you psycho, you know, but you have to listen to, as a parent, like listening to your intuition about what your boundaries are is really important.
Yeah. Thank
you. So what happened next? You told him all that and
then so we actually are, you know, he hasn't, okay, so I'm not articulating this super well. Something that's funny about the Nerf guns is that he doesn't actually seem to quite know what to do with them. They're not that fun, right?
Yeah.
Like you do, if you had 4 kids together and they all had their Nerf guns, maybe that's kind of fun.
At the Sunday potluck.
Yeah,
is
that's
like
fun.
The older boys, plus or minus a couple other kids, take the little Nerf guns and kind of like go run around the house shooting at each other. There's rarely any conflict. They have a great time.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at like, you know, getting consent and not involving innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
You know, but just by yourself, you shoot your mom and it's over.
It's not that fun. So I think that it is not that fun has become a thing. He's aware that we aren't fond of them.
Yeah.
And the big one that he borrowed from this kid will go back to this other kid. And then
Okay, you did negotiate that.
yes.
Or that
Well,
was already part of the plan?
I just reiterated that didn't belong to us, and that this next time we play, it's going back. And then after that is done, David and I, so he has like two little ones that are left over from trades, and then one was like an accidental gift from a grandparent. And
Like they accidentally broke your rules, or they
like
meant to buy him a Polly Pocket.
I think that she didn't realize it was a like toy that she didn't realize included a gun. It was like a air holds up these little balls and you knock them off, and but it's a gun. I mean, it's like it's way and so
you can imagine these like marketing rooms, you know, where they're like, this product looks good. What if it was a gun?
What if it had a gun?
Someone's like, brilliant, print it, tell China, make a million.
So I think we're gonna like have a little conversation about just our family's rules, and just like remind and gently say, like, if he has any questions, and like take him out like for ice cream, you know, make it nice. And we were also going to have him gather up, I think he has 2 or 3 things that are like gun toy, we could call them like guns, and we were going to have him gather them up, and we were going to offer to swap them for cool toys, other cool toys that he would like.
How do you explain to him why you're doing this?
So I have talked to him about that guns kill and hurt people, and that guns kill and hurt kids, and that they make me feel sad, and it's hard to see them as a toy because they are something that is a real problem in our country. And I have talked to him about in other countries, like police don't even carry guns, you know, and we have talked a little bit about what a gun is in our country and why it's a problem, and how in other places they don't have that as much. Yeah. And so I haven't like talked about like mass shootings or anything. No.
I think
scary,
that's very developmentally appropriate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's the gold star, the Dr. Wheeler developmentally appropriate gold star. Yeah. You haven't made him like, listen, I'm thinking, you know, you mentioned in the post our episode with David Reidman about school shootings, which was like super eye-opening to me and really devastating.
Yeah.
And I think it also like, it makes me think of some of the conversations that we've had, like, we touched on this the last time we had Amanda Monti and Tracy Clark Flory on about sex with men, and how, like, you know, after Trump getting elected, a lot of like hetero women and married women, women married to men, were like, I have a healthy sex life with my husband, and my husband is not a predator. And having sex with a man in the context of a world where like every day I am seeing increasing oppression of women and violence towards their body hits different. And I don't think it's my husband's fault. And I'm not like, you asshole, but I'm not in the mood as much. And I think that is a real, we don't kind of give people credit enough for changing their minds when the context changes. And I think the context around guns has changed since we were kids. I mean, lots of parents in the 90s had rules about guns, and guns were killing people all over the world, American guns, you know? And the what has happened in our country since, especially, like you mentioned, you know, the leading cause of death for kids went from, you know, car accidents, right, to guns. And so it just feels different. And again, you don't have to tell your kid, you know, you are, you know, you look like a murderer right now. No. But it is fair to say, like I love how you said that. It makes me feel sad.
Thank you.
That's kind of more or less how we've talked about it with Max, although I think I'll borrow some of your phrasing. And one thing I also like that pisses me off is whenever I get a gun pointed at me, which you mentioned.
Yeah.
We really have so he can have Nerf guns. I kind of like, there was never a time I really limited. I definitely was aware of like the first one we got maybe a couple years ago. They're not allowed in the house, although we get lazy about that. And you're not supposed to point them at people unless they're like actively playing a game with you.
Yeah.
And what I tell them is I'm like, a lot of people have a lot of scary associations with guns. And so you don't know if you point a toy gun in someone's face, what they're going to be thinking of. And you don't want to do that. Right.
Well, Nat, I feel like we tried when the first gun exchange happened, we tried to be like, don't ever point that at someone. But I was like, that's the whole game. Like, well, that's the whole
right. You have to be more nuanced than that. Yeah.
But anyway, well, thank you for like engaging with it. I felt really, I always feel kind of exposed when I write so bluntly about my own feelings, as you say, rather than kind of being like, well, it's this and it's this and it's this. And I try really hard a lot of times to like feel like I've represented every perspective. And this one definitely was a lot more like hard ass, just like here's what it is. And
well, I think, you have to, I don't know. I respect any parent being like, what the fuck, guys? Why are we I think you said, you have a quote like, why are we allowing this?
Yeah, well, it's weird, actually, I think. So
okay,
I want to hear about your baby.
Oh, my baby. I know. Yeah, you all didn't know I secretly had a baby. I was telling someone the other day that I like, because they were like, oh, are you like, or do you ever think about having a third kid? And I was like, well, I let that go, but it was harder to let go of the idea that I would be someone's surrogate someday. Like, I've always had this fantasy, like it's like the ultimate like compliment, of like someone being like, hey, we were just talking, and of all the wombs we could think of, we just thought yours would be great for our feed, our embryo.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I was always like, someday someone's gonna just ring me up. And now I'm like, no, nobody wants.
You're like, I'm too old.
My old ass workings. My baby brother had a baby. He's 40, but he's
your baby brother. Yeah,
she is so fucking cute. And so you've talked about your postpartum depression, or mood disorder.
Yeah.
What I think I've already gone through the hardest parts of grieving this, but I still think about when I see really new parents, like, and I see what they're like, I realize that I had a really fucking hard time. Like, I have another friend who lives here who's been my friend since we were like 12, who just had a baby. Similar to my brother, it's like, they just had babies. They're not like sleeping or, super functioning, but they're doing great. They don't seem like disassociated to me.
Interesting.
And like, and so it's interesting to me, like, that's what I expect. That like, I go to meet someone who just had a baby and I'm like, well, they're gonna look glassy-eyed and be like incredibly anxious and not know how to connect with their baby. And then they're not like that. And I'm like, oh, I had a rough time.
Yeah.
It's sad, It's really sad.
Yeah. Do you struggle? I had an easier time with Griffin, although I was anxious, but I had a really hard time with Nellie. And I look at pictures from like her newborn. It's still hard for me to look at pictures of those first maybe 10 weeks. Like there's this like kind of heart punch of
100%.
Yeah, and it's like very uncomfortable. And then I feel
Wait,
bad.
What's the narrative? What are you telling yourself when you see those pictures?
I think I'm just grieving, like I missed it. It's short and I can't go back. I can't go back mentally healthy as I am now and enjoy that beautiful brand new Nellie, who I love so dearly. And like I was not in a place where I could enjoy it, and it just goes. I mean, it passes. Time is so cruel. It just flies by, and you can't go back.
You're making me cry.
I'm sorry.
I think when you said I missed it, it's like, I know it's not. When I've talked to people like my husband about it, he's like, that wasn't my experience of you. Like, I think that, whatever your brain has processed about that feels a certain way to you. But I didn't experience you as like a not well person who wasn't connecting with
Yeah.
us, you know?
Yeah.
But it is how I feel. When
Yeah.
I see I think for me, it's like, especially with my first one, it's like it's like up until I don't know when that feeling goes away. It's like toddlerdom where I really, up until then, when I see a picture, yeah, that is how I feel. I missed it. It's like, and the other thing, right, is that when I connect to these babies, my niece or like my friend's baby, I'm like, oh, I am sad that I didn't get to feel this like kind of clean love towards my own children.
Well, right. And I think I was pretty isolated. I mean, as many new moms in America are, like, I didn't have a lot of help, from other moms. Like, I had it via text message or whatever, but the best I felt in those times was when, like, there were other women around, like, dropping by, dropping off food, checking in. My mom came by. And I think that, but those were like tiny little sips in a time of like, mostly just alone with the baby or alone with the baby and my husband. And it just was like so so hard, and then so much harder than I think it could be in different structures of society. So you're like, I don't know. It is what it is also. And I guess I remember feeling like, with Nellie, like my body is doing it, like my body is holding her. My body gets up with her in the night. My body, like while I was breastfeeding, it was breastfeeding her. And then when I switched to formula, I was still up with her. And, and there were totally moments of connection and moments of, um, like I remember sometimes in the very middle of the night when it was just me and her, sometimes I would like look at her and be like, "Oh, hi. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
you're
okay.
here too." But it was yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think something I'm struggling with, you kind of asked me about my summer for various personal reasons. I've been thinking a lot about like aging and passage of time, and
You look great, by the way. You look very
thank you.
tan.
Well, I took my second surfing lesson and I spent a lot of time in the ocean recently. So I'm actually
Oh,
less tan than I was. I was so
oh,
tan that my lips were sunburned and I looked like a Kardashian. It was kind
oh.
of amazing. And painful. But so like, but I'm thinking a lot about the passage of time, and I'm totally having that thing where I wish I could go back and like hold my babies. And I wish I could, like, I don't really want a third baby, but sometimes I think I do. But what I really want is to like bebop around on the timeline of my kids' lives and visit
Yes.
them at different
Yeah.
moments. And that is a feeling that is new to me as a parent. I didn't wish I could travel around in my timeline of life before I had kids.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
You weren't
visit my like
you weren't
15-year-old
obsessed with time
self.
travel. You
No,
did
and now I
only since I have
am.
kids am I building a time machine in my garage.
Yes.
Um,
And I don't like it. I don't like missing things that have passed like that. And I
I
think it's
think
new to me.
I think from what I hear from parents I know who have older kids, I think there's a version of that most parents feel, as their kids age, which is a little
Yeah.
bit different from like I have a regret about how I experienced this thing. I'd like to experience it
Yeah.
with the knowledge I have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
It's
it's a
painful.
wild ride.
I just didn't want pain to be part of how I love my kids, but I guess it is.
You know why? Because pain is part of life.
Yeah. I'm still adjusting to
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not very
Mm-hmm.
good at that.
Yes, one of our only truths. I have a really like shallow non sequitur, which is that
Good.
I've been thinking about um apparently it's like a podcast thing to like create a name for your fans.
Oh.
Like Lauren Lapkus, who we interviewed, who's so
Uh-huh.
great. She has a podcast. I think it's her podcast Freedom, where like the
Oh, yeah.
fans are called piss pigs. And so they have like t-shirts. And then like if you'd
Yes.
like saw Lauren Lapkus on the street, you'd be like, I'm
I'm
a piss pig. And then like my brother listens to the like Lonely Island podcast.
David also is obsessed with that.
Yeah, so is my husband. I know. I think it's really capturing the hearts of
millennial
millennial men everywhere. It's fine. It's one of those things where it's like I do understand why it's enjoyable, and it is
who
enjoyable.
doesn't like Andy Samberg? I mean,
yeah, but I'm like, this doesn't like do it for me. But apparently they have like a whole call and response they've created where like, you know, if fans see them, I can't remember what the phrase is, but then you say back, righteous kill.
Okay.
This is us trying to understand gender. So yeah, I mean, it could be so many things, but like my brother was like, you need a name for your listeners.
Oh, okay.
Like Andy Samberg. I mean, and we started our podcast before they did, I'm pretty sure.
We're probably already more popular than the Lonely Island podcast.
Yeah, definitely
clearly.
with women. I mean, it's okay. No, I know some women that listen to the Lonely Island podcast. It's one of those things that I again, like I'm not looking for reasons to dislike men. I just want to say that. But it's one of those kind of cultural things where there's almost never anything actually problematic or misogynistic that like specifically can be pointed to. Although some of like the early Lonely Island stuff, there's just like a subtle orientation towards what I would call, with great generalization, but like just trying to get people to understand what I'm saying, male culture as the default culture. And we could probably say white male culture of a certain age, you know, and a certain like socioeconomic status, political, whatever.
For sure.
You know, but it's like, and sometimes it's that kind of like mundane, insidious, like default towards entertainment that a kind of guy likes as like what entertainment is that annoys me almost as much as overt misogyny.
I mean, I've never wanted to.
It's tiring.
Janet Manley and I had a little like brief Substack exchange about the movie Stepbrothers.
Yeah,
which is like
it's tiring.
I mean, Stepbrothers is a movie that my husband and I have like loved together for 20 years. Okay. It's like it's this personal little thing in our relationship. But then I've learned that it's like important to other people. I couldn't tell you
the difference between that. And I think Will Ferrell is like one of our greatest.
I mean, but sometimes I'm like, should I unpack the affection I have for some of these kind of like bro movies? Yeah. Like, what's that one? Oh my God, I'm forgetting the one.
Again, some of them are like, I mean, they all have moments, but some of them, like Knocked Up, is like fundamentally misogynist. Yeah. But other ones, like, it's just kind of
now. There's like not Apocalypse, but it's like the spoof of it that those guys did.
Oh, I know what you're talking about with Ben Stiller.
Yes.
I can't remember what that's called. I saw that.
But you know, that whole genre that we came up with, and like it's like, I don't know what, it's definitely like a bro culture. And I mean, like we watched Pineapple Express like so many times.
Yes. Yeah.
And I laughed really hard, you know, like it's, right. But sometimes I'm like, should I unpack my feelings about these movies? Right. Am I trying to be like a certain kind of girl who laughs at a certain kind of male humor? And then you're like, yes. But then sometimes I'm like, well, I'm just tired and I just want to laugh. And this is making me laugh really hard.
No, I don't think you should feel bad about enjoying one of those movies. No, but I think it's one of those things where, again, the context matters. Like, we can have the same conversation about how, you know, certain rom-coms feel so coded for women and are kind of alienating to a lot of other viewers. But the context is that for, you know, most of, like, you know, if we just say American dominant culture, we have decided the good stuff is Stepbrothers, and Stepbrothers made, you know, 20 times the money that rom-com made. I had a experience, you know, like Clueless was back in theaters this summer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary, and I rewatched it with my husband.
I love Clueless. Are we gonna trash it?
No, I love Clueless. It 100% holds up. Yeah. It's so good. It is so smart, and every joke is just brilliant. It's so good. It's really a masterpiece. Yeah. And I was mentioning to a guy friend, like, I was like, oh yeah, Clueless is like back in theaters. Like, and it's like for a couple days, like I maybe want to see it. And he was kind of like, really? Do you? And I was like,
Yeah.
you would never say that about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yeah.
Never.
That's crazy.
Like
'Cause
you would be
I
like,
mean,
that masterpiece?
Clueless is a masterpiece. I mean, I do
But
feel like it's one of my top 3 movies. It's like Princess Bride, Clueless, and then I could go on forever about what number 3 would be. But like, I yeah, it's a fabulous movie. Interesting. Well, I won't like rant about how great that movie is because
it's
everyone
so good.
obviously knows that.
But the kids
yeah,
know about it. It lives.
yeah,
My niece has seen it like
good.
1,000 times, and Target had like a line of Clueless products. I bought one for my friend, like a journal that said "as if" or something.
That's trippy.
Yeah. So
Well, oh, yeah,
okay,
I
but we don't
feel
have names. We don't have names for our listeners. We are
right.
soliciting names. If
Yes.
you are listening and you would like to suggest what, our rabid fan base should be
We
called.
can say,
Do you have any
hey,
ideas, Miranda? You're a
no, I'll
writer.
have to.
Let's ask AI.
I'm tapped. I'm tapped.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Yeah.
I feel so. This was
The nuance, bitches. I don't know.
My final thought um about summer is that I feel really brain dead. Like,
yeah, summer
I
has
am
summered.
like, do you go into like an existential crisis of like, I'm not a creative person anymore? Like, that's how I feel because I think I'm so fractured. Like, my attention is so fractured that there is no like creative juice at all. And I was thinking about like when Griffin was a baby, yes, he was a toddler.
I'm sorry, you just gave me the idea that because I was like, well, I have ADHD, Miranda. That's just how my brain is all the time. I'm like, oh, being in an ADHD brain is just perpetual summer. It's like high highs and shit is all over the place. You're like, I don't know what day it is, but like I am eating ice cream. Anyway,
but you're very creative. I mean, I guess that's, I don't know. I'm just like, I was thinking about how when Griffin was a toddler and it was the pandemic, things were very intense, but I was like so focused on him that it was kind of this like intense like creative feed, and he took a nap in the middle of the day. So like we would have this intense time together, and then I would get like 90 minutes of just like space.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd wake up and we'd have a couple hours, and then David would be done with work and we would hang, and it was like a super creative time for me. I was writing a ton for myself. It wasn't my job. I was writing poetry. I was like, reading it. It was super delightful in a lot of ways and satisfying. And like, I feel like having a second kid, and I know that I'm still like, other moms tell me like, oh, you still have little kids, you're still in it or whatever. But I'm like, I don't have a baby anymore. And I still feel so fractured, like mentally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think part of that is life, and parenting is all over the place.
Yeah.
The metaphor for that for me right now is that I'm like packing up this house we've stayed in for a month in Boston to go home. Thank God my family's not here. Like I'm just doing it myself. But like I packed all the suitcases, and then there are also like, I'm not kidding you, 10 separate bags of just like random detritus. And that it's like the art that my kids make and like the extra goggles that we bought, but then they found their old goggles and like presents people gave them and like shit they won at the camp carnival. And I know I need to also just let fewer things into like the threshold of my house. But I think it is a metaphor for your brain when you're a parent.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
It feels very much that way.
And you do forget, I think, to everyone out there, let's be honest, it's just Garrett still with us. Garrett, if you're listening, I have a PSA for you, which is that parents, if you feel crazy, remember that it's still summer.
Yeah.
In the end of September, you'll be like, okay, I'm eating breakfast. I'm eating lunch. Things are kind of making sense.
Well, I realized last night, I was like, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? And I was like, oh yeah, I want to talk about how, and we need to wrap, but I want to talk about, and I'm just going to say it, that
I don't need to rap. I
Nellie
can talk
wakes
all
up.
day.
Nellie wakes up at like 7:45. And then Griffin doesn't wake up now until like 9:30. We wake him up a lot of times.
Ooh, sexy summer.
I know. And then he doesn't
That's
go
what I
to
want to.
bed until like 10.
Yeah.
10:30.
That's a
Last
lot
night
of
it was
sleep, though.
10:45. I was like, okay, so I'm never alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
usually in the school year, like they're both wrecked.
Yeah.
Thank God, by like 8 p.m. Solidly wrecked. He will go to sleep. And right now he's not. I am not running this child out. Like, he is not wrecked. He's like, I'm not tired yet. You know, like, I'm going to play Legos for a while. Or like,
Wait,
I'm
is
not
he
ready
like
for
not in camp?
No,
I'm sorry, I missed this whole thing. You just like have a kid at home? Oh, of
Teenage
course.
babysitters.
Okay,
Briefly. They're
teenage
here for like
babysitters. I
3
thought they were
hours.
like for the weekends or something.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
Mondays
no.
and Thursdays for like 3 to 4
Okay.
hours.
No. All right. No, the reason that your brain is scattered is that it's not
I
like, did my
know.
brain change since I became, it's like because you have a full-time job that's parenting right now.
Yeah, and I'm still working. It's not like
Okay,
I'm not.
this is
Like, I'm
insane.
still working, and I can't. There's not enough hours in the day.
No, there's
and
not.
then my brain is totally fried by all of it. And I was texting with a friend yesterday, and I was like, I thought summer would be nice, but mostly it's just both of my children yelling at me at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Right, but it's hot out. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. Well, I mean, I don't know whether to call you brave or. I mean, I know if you had a choice, you would do so. It's not like you
call me cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, brave. No, brave or economically conscious.
There you go.
And smart and not
Okay.
spending above, your means, or stupid. I don't know what to, but I would have a very hard time with that. But I also felt like summer. My summer's basically done, and I'm like, oh, I wish my kids had been out of camp a little bit more. But that's only because they've kind of been nice this summer.
Yeah.
And I've been lulled into a false sense that like we have a good time together. But maybe,
tricky.
but it's hard to calibrate the summer.
It is.
I think that
it's
is
so
what
different
is true. Yes.
from the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then
every
your kids
summer
are
is
different.
And your kids are different. Exactly.
Yes. And so you're like, okay, I don't feel like it's like, okay, I can take what I learned this summer and then I'll crack it next summer. It's like, no, it'll be different. They'll be different. Our needs will be different. And as a freelancer, things could change a lot. So I have no idea what is going to be my childcare need, what is going to be reasonable to pay for. And like, I feel like we don't really have I don't have a perfect solution.
Yeah.
And then Griffin is a challenging kid. I mean, he wouldn't go to camp. It would be a huge battle. So
that makes sense.
There's that.
Yes.
So I chose not to battle, but camp is now what I threaten when he's being really difficult. I'm like,
well, that
you
might
said
be
you
part of
wanted
why
to
he
be
doesn't
home
want
all
to go.
summer.
That's maybe not like the greatest button to press.
I know. Well, that's because of last summer. Because I did camps. We did some camps last summer, and he bitched about it so much that I was like, fine, no camps next summer. Like, you don't have to do a single camp. Just stop complaining about it. Because I felt like I lost so much money because we ended up letting him stay home because he was so unhappy. And I was like, okay, well, this was stupid. Like,
that's hard. That is hard. Yeah.
It was
My kids I was surprised, especially about how happily they go to camp.
That's amazing.
I mean, they have different feelings about different camps, but I can't believe. I know, we're talking about how there's variety in kids, and there are things my kids are not resilient about, or flexible about. But like, I cannot believe that we came to like across the country and we're like, now go here. And they were like every day for many hours with strangers in like a different culture. And we were like, and they were like, all right.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Kids are like,
I feel like parenting gold star for you.
Yeah. Even like kids who I think, the experiences that they really struggle to do new things, or like if you actually like followed them around and kept a log, they do so much that they're willing to kind of attempt or they, are they're compliant about exposing themselves to that more than adults,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm sorry that's bonkers. Okay. So when does school start for you?
The end of the month,
Okay.
August 26th. for Griffin. And then we have this weird thing. So, like, all of our teenagers will go back to school, and then Nellie doesn't start till after Labor Day. So that's actually going to be like the hardest week potentially because I don't know how I'm going to work it all except for movies. I was thinking she will watch movies.
Moana will save you. You'll say this essay was brought to you by Moana.
Elsa.
All right. I do actually have to go. I lied.
know, me too. It was so nice to catch up. There's so much we could talk about.
I know we like to end with culture recommendations.
Oh, yes. Tell me.
To be continued, we can talk about this, but I did enjoy the movie Together, a horror film about codependency.
Oh, nice.
And I am also really enjoying the many rewatches of K-pop Demon Hunters that we are doing.
I've only seen it once, but I have seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I get yelled at by my kids for singing the songs from that many times a day.
Nice.
Which is how you know it's good. And your kids are working. They're not defective.
There you go.
They're embarrassed by you like they should be.
I'm reading a book.
I'm reading a book.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Mine is called The Family Fang.
That's Kevin Wilson. I love Kevin Wilson. I've never read that one, but I read his newest book that was on that I bought it like hardcover, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's about like a kind of family road trip. And I love Nothing to See Here is so good. And then there's another one about like teenagers that's really good too.
Yeah, I haven't
love Kevin
read
Wilson.
Nothing to See Here, but yeah,
he writes girls and women really well.
Yes, this is very women focused. I feel like it's about a family of 4, and it's hard to even explain, but there's like these parent-child dynamics that are really interesting and really relevant, I feel like, to modern culture. Like it's about these artist parents who basically put their kids in their art, like it's performance art, and they use their children. Yeah. But it's a little it's definitely cutting deep as like a parent, like what you do to your children kind of to serve your own needs. And I was like, oh,
right. Like tell them they can't have machine guns in the house. Yeah.
Anyway.
That sounds great. Okay. That's a good reminder, because there's a special genre that I'm always looking for, which is books that people loved that might be available at the library because they didn't come out in the last like 2 years.
I think I had to wait a little bit. Like I think I had to wait, like I do it through Libby, and I think I had to wait 3 weeks or something.
Yeah. I think
it wasn't like 16 weeks.
My 3 favorite books this summer were Tilt by Emma Patty, your neighbor in Portland. That book's fabulous, about a pregnant woman in a kind of, disaster. Totally gripping.
Yeah. It's
Wonderful.
the earthquake, right?
It's the earthquake. Yeah. And Four Mothers by Abigail Leonard, who we're going to have on the podcast. That book is lovely. Oh, you have it right there. It's so great. It's really good. It's like a nice read, like it goes, but it's really interesting. That's nonfiction. And then, I also read, my sister turned me on to a Curtis Sittenfeld modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which is like, if you want to, my Stepbrothers is anything in the Austen universe. That's my Marvel universe.
Stepbrothers too, but my husband won't watch it with me. Well, that's not true. Sometimes he will, but.
What?
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice?
Well, yeah, like he did watch the big 6-hour one with me.
Yeah.
But we have never watched the one with
Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden.
We've never watched it.
I watched it again recently because when I saw it originally, I didn't we didn't know Matthew McFadden as a culture really, and now we love him. And I was like, he was Darcy.
She just didn't seem like Elizabeth, because she's Elizabeth Bennet, right?
It's a little too.
She's like not. I don't know.
It's not my favorite.
The other one is so good.
Yeah.
That
not my favorite.
Whatever.
But my favorite Jane Austen adaptation films are the Ang Lee Sense and Sensibility is just unbeatable, and then the newer Emma with Anya Taylor-Joy is fabulous.
I have not watched that.
It's so fun. It's really it's the movie that I think most understands Austen's humor. Other than Clueless.
Speaking of, yeah, right. Speaking of Emma, did you watch Too Much, the new Lena Dunham show?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, speaking of, just watch it and then pay close attention to the last scene.
Of the
And
pilot?
there's a little of the last
Are
scene
you
of
in
the
it?
finale.
Oh, the
No,
finale. I have to watch a whole
no.
season to get to something you're not even explaining to me? Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Yeah.
I also, my sister-in-law is rewatching Girls. And
Everyone is rewatching Girls.
is that what's happening
It's a
because
thing.
of the too
Darla
much?
is watching it. I think that the Gen Zers have discovered Girls.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now
good
I
for
feel old
them.
because I'm like, I watched that when it aired.
I was a girl.
Like, I
Uh,
lived in Brooklyn at that
yeah,
time.
I
I went
know.
to
I
those
also made
bars.
bad choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be interesting to rewatch it. But the thing that always happens is that I'm not, by the way, like particularly sophisticated or anything, but I just don't watch a ton of stuff. I
Mm,
mostly am reading. And so when people kind of
yeah.
toss around things like wait until the finale of a whole season and in the final frame you'll see, I don't know, a
A Jane
penis.
Austen reference. I'll just
Then
spoil it.
then
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't.
Well, so
I'm not
every
gonna make it.
episode is named after, and I didn't realize this until I watched the whole thing. Every episode is named after like a British rom-com,
Oh,
a little bit. And
Notting
so there
Hill,
is
Four
this,
Weddings and a Funeral.
yes. And so as
Yeah.
I watched it, I realized that she was dropping all these little references to all of these kinds of movies that so many of us grew up loving. And the more I paid attention, the more I saw, and the more, and I enjoyed that element of it. The show is like it has its ups and its downs, but I like Lena Dunham's work. I
Oh
think
yeah.
she's interesting, and I know some people don't, but I think she's an interesting the voice of our generation, as she
Oh my
said
God,
in Girls.
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like so. But the show is good, and I'm just excited to see her doing work
Me
again.
too.
And
Yeah.
I read some interesting stuff, like Rita Wilson talked about working on that set and just what a good set experience it was, and how supported she feels as like a midlife woman. Like just sort of. There were a lot of things that made me feel good about it, and I was
Like,
like,
yeah,
this
and
is what
like
I want
Lena
to
Dunham's
see.
doing well.
Yeah, more
I
of
would
this.
I like her. Yeah, I want to see her do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Great.
work. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, recommend.
I'm in.
All right.
I will fall asleep during the first episode of that and
Yeah,
give you
it's
my
not
thoughts.
perfect, but it's enjoyable.
Who among us is perfect?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
enjoy the next bits of your August.
Thanks.
I'll see you
You too.
soon.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.